This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
And welcome back. We're continuing our week of Thanksgiving ideas for your big feast come Thursday. Yesterday we showed you some dessert ideas, and this morning we're talking about drinks. Ryan Miller, Hy-Vee's certified wine specialist, is here this morning to talk about wine selection. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
I just brought out some wines that we normally sample at the store. One thing I want to emphasize is that there was an old saying, you know, red wines, red meats, white wines, white meats. That is kind of like out the door nowadays.
Okay. Right.
Pretty much, it depends on your own personal taste.
Okay.
You can complement your meals. I mean, if you're having a white meat, have white wines. You can also contrast it. You can have white meat and you can have red wines.
Okay.
It doesn't, you know, nothing set in stone. It's all dependent upon your personal taste.
All right. And we have Scott here who enjoys a glass of wine or two with his meal. What's your preference when it comes? Do you follow that block of red goes with red and white goes with white?
No, whatever I enjoy, I usually drink.
Okay.
That's exactly how you want to do it.
And so you brought some examples here of what maybe our viewers might enjoy when it comes to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, generally, I mean, you start with, you know, your reds. You have your dry reds, your Cabernets, your Merlots. You can move on to your sweeters. This was actually a Missouri sweet. Most of your Missouri sweet wines are sweet wines.
Okay.
If you want to try something right in the middle, you try a blush. And then if you want to move on to your whites, you've got a full-bodied Chardonnay here. This is also it's considered a dry. You have a dry Sauvignon Blanc, and then people were like, okay, well, what is dry? Dry essentially means less sweet.
Okay.
A lot of people are confused. What does dry mean? They know what sweet means. They don't know what dry means. So moving on, the Pinot Grigio is kind of like right in the middle. Then you have a sweet white. The Pinot Noir, the reason I brought it is because it is pretty much known as the chameleon of wines. It will go with reds. It will go with whites. It will go with poultry, pork, whatever.
Okay.
It'll just go with everything.
All right.
And the one I brought here on the end is kind of like
it's like a cranberry wine.
It's a cranberry wine, yes. So instead of having your typical cranberries, you know, with your Thanksgiving meal this year, be the wild one and bring cranberry wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had cranberry wine before?
No, I have
It's
never.
delicious.
Really?
I love
It is.
cranberry wine.
It's very
So
good.
if I'm not hosting Thanksgiving dinner because we all know I don't know how to cook and I don't want to hurt my family that I have here. So if I'm going to let's say my fiance's aunt's house for Thanksgiving and I wanted to bring a wine and I'm not that big of a wine drinker but wanted to enjoy some, which one would I bring?
Well, you kind of have to do a little research at the beginning to find out kind of what they like and that stuff. But your best bet is to aim for middle of the road.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you wanted to bring a white, I'd go with a Pinot Grigio. You might bring up the blush. You might bring the Merlot if you wanted to bring a red. Like I said, with the Pinot Noir, you're pretty much it's foolproof.
Okay.
It's foolproof.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem.
We'll
Glad to be
post
here.
everything on our website at heartlandconnection.com.